Welcome, night owls, to Tales to Tell, the channel where stories come alive after dark. Here we explore 4 realms of imagination. Terrifying tales to tell for those who crave chills and whispers in the dark. Romantic reads to ravish for hearts that ache, burn and bloom. Fantasy fables to follow for dreamers who walk between worlds. And sci-fi stories to self-indulge for minds that drift beyond the stars. Tonight's story from our Romantic Reads to Ravish collection is called The Letter Beneath the Floorboards. When Ivy moves into a centuries-old cottage in the Brecon Beacons, she expects creaky floors and cold nights, not a love story buried beneath the wood. While restoring the living room, she discovers a hidden compartment under the floorboards. Inside, a bundle of letters, yellowed with time and tied with a velvet ribbon. They are addressed to My Dearest Elwyn, written by a man named Thomas, who vanished in 1912. The letters speak of secret meetings, stolen kisses, and a promise to return before the first frost. But the final letter ends abruptly. I'll be there at midnight. If the lantern's lit, I'll know you still love me. Ivy becomes obsessed. She lights a lantern in the window that night just to see. At midnight, the wind shifts. Footsteps echo outside, and a man stands at the gate, dressed in 1910s attire, eyes full of longing. He whispers, "Elwyn?" Ivy answers, "She's gone, but I read your letters." He smiles. "I waited for someone who believed." Then he fades into the mist. The next morning, Ivy finds a new letter on her windowsill. It's signed, "To Ivy, thank you for lighting the way." Story 2. The Clock That Loved Her. In a quiet seaside town, there's a clock tower that chimes only when she walks by. No one knows why, not even Lila, the woman who's lived there her whole life. She's a painter, a dreamer and a believer in signs, even if she doesn't understand them. One day, she climbs the tower to sketch the view. Inside, she finds a journal tucked behind the gears. It's written by a man named Elias, a clockmaker who lived there a century ago. His final entry reads, "I built this clock to mark the moment she passed, but it chimes still. Perhaps love lingers longer than time." Lila paints the towers every day after that, and every time she does, the clock chimes, even when it's broken. Then one evening, she hears a voice behind her. "I've waited for someone who sees me." It's Elias, or something like him. They speak until sunrise, then he fades. But the clock keeps chiming, and her paintings begin to sell, each one signed with a tiny gear etched in the corner, a signature she never added. Story 3. The Bookshop Between Heartbeats. In a narrow alley that doesn't appear on any map, there's a bookshop that only opens when you're heartbroken. Emery finds it after a breakup that leaves her hollow. The shop smells of lavender and old paper. The shelves are filled with books that seem to know her, titles like How to Breathe Again and The Art of Letting Go. The shopkeeper is a quiet man named Finn. He never asks questions, but always knows which book to hand her. She returns every week, and they talk, they laugh, and she heals. One day she asks, "What happens when I'm no longer heartbroken?" Finn smiles sadly. "Then the shop closes and I forget you." She leaves unsure, but the next morning the alley is gone. The shop has vanished. Years later, Emery walks the same street. She's happy now. She's whole. But a breeze carries the scent of lavender, and a book lands at her feet. It's titled, "The One I Remember," and inside is a note. Some heartbeats never fade. Signed, Finn. And that was tonight's tale. Whether it chilled your spine, stirred your heart, sparked your imagination, or bent your reality, thank you for listening. This is Tales to Tell, where stories never sleep. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow night owls. Until next time, keep your lantern lit, your journal open, and your signal strong, because the next tale is already watching.